Hi again, friends. This is Sharon from Mad Paper Crush. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a flip through of my third design team project journal for the Graphics Fairy. The Graphics Fairy is a premium membership subscription site for all kinds of different graphics that you can use inside your journal and other paper products, or I'm sorry, paper projects. And it also has a lot of different tutorials, techniques to do things like in Photoshop Elements, but also different techniques for actual crafting. So there's so much wonderful information inside the premium membership. I'll be linking to that down below if you'd like to check that out. And this is the journal I've created. I'm calling it Paris in Emerald because it kind of has a French and a green theme throughout. So I want to just kind of go over the outside, and then I'll talk about the different kits that I used for this project, and then we'll take a look at the inside. So as you might be able to tell, it's a pretty tall journal. It's almost 11 inches tall, and it's only about 4 or 4.5 inches wide. It's a thin, tall journal. I've been seeing these around, and I absolutely love them and wanted to give my take on it and give it one a try, I should say. I started this journal with a remnant piece of fabric. So this is just a fabric from an old swatch book. And I just loved that it was cream and it kind of has some embossed, raised stitching on here. So I really loved that a lot. And that was kind of what started this. And then I found a wonderful kit inside of the premium membership, which I'll show you in just a minute, that I used a lot of the graphics for and really which gave me the idea for this. So it's only one signature, and you can see I did some bead work on my binding there, which I love. It gives it a nice sort of opulent feel here. And I have a little key here with some of this frilly yarn on here that I love. I do have a little book plate on here with the word Paris, and you could certainly remove this and put something else in it if you wanted to. I'm just going to leave it right there for now. And then I also used this beautiful cabinet card of this, I think she's a French actress on here. And I just added some metal embellishments. And then at the bottom, I added this beautiful green butterfly. I put him on with a brad. And there's layers of textiles here. So there's more yarn and there's some burlap under there. And then some different fabric at the very bottom. So there's lots of layers in that right there. Okay, so before I go through the inside of the journal, I just wanted to just kind of talk about some of the images that I used throughout the journal. So this is the cream and green ephemera kit, and this is where I was inspired. So this is the main kit that inspired me. So it has lots of little cutouts. So some of these you'll see I used like on printing on vintage ledger paper. Here's the cabinet card that I used on the front here of this pretty lady right there. And then you'll see a lot of these other images throughout. So I loved some of the pattern paper and just some of the, I don't know, the different things that were in there. So, and it had some nice like end paper type things that I used for the backs of papers and stuff like that. So this one I used a lot throughout there. And this one I used a lot as well. So I loved, this is French newspaper and ephemera, and I loved the little labels that were in here, these kind of intricate labels. So I used some for pockets and did some fun things that I'll show you when we go throughout there. And I even made my own collage page using some of these images of the newspapers and things like that. So when we get to that, I'll show you that as well. And then I did use some of the backs of the cabinet cards, I think, as like tags and things like that. And then this Mocha and Java kit, I really liked this Mocha and Java kit. So I ended up using some of the images from it. So it's not all Paris in Emerald, as you can see, but there were a lot of neat pattern papers that I liked that I wanted to use as my end papers. And so what I ended up doing was digitally transforming them a little bit, adding some, green colors to them. So you'll see that when I get there. And then I think I used a couple of the other ones for different tags, and you'll see some of these number things throughout because I just liked them. I thought they were fun. And then the French Paperie collection. I love old invoices, receipts, and different things like that. Any kind of office paper. I love office paper. I don't know. I used to play office a lot when I was a kid, and so I love office papers. So you'll see a couple of office papers from this collection in there. And then I used just a couple of the script ephemera images. So I love handwriting, different handwritings, and some of it's so elaborate, and you know, everyone is different. So I loved looking at some of these, and so I used a couple of these throughout the journal as well. And finally, the coffee and cream. So this one, I was thinking about using this one more. I was thinking about going more with a brown and cream type theme, and I was going to use this one more, but when I saw the cream and green, I really liked that one a lot better. So you'll still see a couple of these images. I did use like the book cover here. That's really cool. I used this image here, which had some green in it that I thought was great for a tag. So you will see some of these too, but most of the images come from this cream and green and the French newspapers here. All right, so now that we've gone through some of the kits that I used from the Graphics Fairy, let's go ahead and take a look inside that journal. Okay, let's open her up here. So the first end paper that you see here is that patterned paper. This was actually brown in the Mocha and Java kit. And so I just kind of added some green so that it would match my theme a little bit. And I really love the way that it turned out. And I just paired it with some old wallpaper printable from the Graphics Fairy. So I love the way these two look together here. And so I have this little tuck spot that I created for the front, and I have this little note card here with this swatch, green swatch colors on it, and I added some more of that fuzzy yarn that I love. And then this is a authentic vintage order form, and I just love the feel of it and the patina on the edges and things like that. It looks yummy. Okay, and then over here I use this image. Now this was just a random image that I found in the Graphics Fairy site. For here, I just like that he had some greens on him and a couple of pops of some other colors. And so this was printed on an old ledger page that I have, and I love the way that turns out and how you can kind of see some of the handwriting through that as well. And then over here, I have a little pocket. So I tried to do some fabric pockets and different things throughout the journal. So you'll kind of see that as we go. This is a little tag I made from the back of a cabinet card that was in, I believe, that French newspaper kit there. And then this is from the Script Ephemera kit. And I just kind of made it look old myself by kind of zhuzhing up some of the edges and, you know, folding things over and putting a little stamp on there with some embossing powder. This is Seth Apter's, I think it's antique patina maybe, but I love the look of that, and it's nice and green. So I thought that was fun to kind of add in here. And then I did add some, this is tracing paper that I coffee dyed, and I have just some little bits up here. So this is an old bit of ephemera, and then this is one of those frames from the French newspapers kit. And then over here I have a nice big receipt from this is from the French Paperie collection, I believe, and I just love the different writing on here. So I loved printing it out nice and tall. A lot of times I don't print out images this big for my journals, but I have the room in here, so I went ahead and did that. And I just have it kind of paper clipped in here so I don't lose it. And then this is one of the printables that was actually available in the cream and green kit that I used. And so I just printed it out, and I love that this made a perfect journal page right there. And on the back, I printed some of the patterned paper that was included in that kit as well, so that I wouldn't have white paper on the back. So I need to just move that out of the way. I have more ledger paper in here and some more stamping with embossing on there, little fabric tag. And here's that tree page that's in the cream and green kit, and I just added some collage pieces and those little number diamonds that I saw that you saw in the Mocha and Java kit. I added some of those in with Brad's there. And these are some authentic stamps, vintage stamps. And here is that the French newspaper kit that I used all the different pieces in to make my own collage page. So there's a bunch of different elements in here that I put together in Photoshop and added these butterflies as well. And I have another nice big fabric pocket here with this little cologne thing on here. And then a nice old check that's French as well. Perfect little tag there to add some journaling to the back. And some burlap with another authentic stamp there. And then this is some more printing on ledger paper. This is one of the fussy cut digitals from that cream and green ephemera kit. So this was already extracted for me. I just had to print it on top of this ledger paper, and I love the way that turned out. And then this is an old postcard and one of those labels from the French newspapers kit. And then I added this onto some natural deli paper. I love adding these kind of light pieces in here that you can sort of see through, and plus they just sound great when you're flipping them. And then here's another one of those frames from the French newspaper kit, and I just made it into like a little shaker with some glitter in there. So I thought that was really fun. And then this was part of that book cover that I just cut out to match so that it would have a back piece there. So I thought that was fun, and it was opposite this stereo card, which I found on the Graphics Fairy as well. And I thought this looked like maybe a French actress or something like that. And it says Collection LL Paris, I think. So, and then I just put a little label on the back to give it a little something extra. And then I added an old dictionary page, and this is the one that includes Paris on there. And I added some old fabric in here that I just thought was pretty. And then here is a little, I don't know, over the page kind of holder. This is that book cover that we saw, I think, in the Mocha and Java kit, possibly. But I just made it into a little note card with I added a little embossing stamp down there. And then I printed out this fussy cut butterfly nice and big so that I could just put it around the side of my page here, and it would hold everything together. So you don't even have to take it off. You can just pull things out, you know, from underneath the paper clip if you wanted to, or leave it in there. And then here is the middle of the page. Now this is just an old piece of that ledger paper that I wanted to include in here. And I have another little fold over tuck spot right here. But this is more fully, you can see that collage page that was included in the cream and green kit. So the Graphics Fairy made this collage page, and it fits perfectly into my journal. You can see that there. And then more place for journaling, the other half of that dictionary page. And then here's just another bunch of bits that I put together. So I wanted to add some of this sort of sparkly ribbon here. And I love these little teacups, and I just cut them out. You could use them for collage and put them, you know, on any pages that you wanted. You could create a new tag for them, but I thought it would be fun to just include them in the journal so that they could be used, you know, however the new owner would like to use them. So, and here's a piece from that script ephemera page, and I don't know if you can see how lovely that handwriting is, but I love it. So this is a great place for journaling here. And then I have all these little bits that you could use to make other things with. Okay, and then here is another one of those labels from the French newspaper kit, and I just added in this little piece is another one of those office receipts from the French Paperie collection, and I made it into like a little coin envelope, and then I put this coffee advertisement in there from that coffee and cream kit. So I loved her little look on there, and I thought it was fun. And then when you slide it in here, you can see that butterfly right through the piece there. And then when we come over to here, there's another one of these little diamond numbers, and I just decided to use that as a little tuck spot for this note card. And I added in another key. So there's one on the outside and there's one in here on this tab. Some music paper. I love adding music paper. And I added in a little button card with some homemade paper buttons on there. But this is another little fabric pocket, and I just tucked in a little piece from one of the collections in here. I think that might have been the French Paperie. I'm not exactly sure. I used a lot from different ones. I can't always remember exactly where they came from. All right, and then this one, well, I can remember this one came from. This one came from the Mocha Java kit, but this is the other teacup that was available in the cream and green ephemera kit, and I thought they looked really good together. So having a cup of coffee right on there, and I did put some old ledger paper on the back of that into this little fabric envelope with some lace there. And then here's another back of the page. This is that big, I don't know, poster of trees here. I love the way that looks. And then more ledger paper. And here are some of the little pieces. This one's from the cream and green ephemera kit, and this one is from the French Paperie kit. It's a little stamp, but I blew it up nice and big, so I thought that would be fun in here. And then here's the other side of that tracing paper. I just love the way that sounds. And then I have a couple of pieces of ephemera in this little pocket down here with another stamp, authentic stamp from a letter. And then we're getting to be the last page. Here's another one of those diamonds that I put in there. You could tuck something in there if you wanted to. And then the back page, I have a nice big pocket here, and I have two pieces of ephemera in here. So this is another postcard. The postcard, was plain. I added the butterflies on both of these digitally before I printed them out. And then this is that coffee plant that was in the coffee and cream kit, but I made it into a nice big tag, and I love the way that turned out. I love having that nice tall tag right here, and especially that the top kind of comes, overflows onto the top there. All right. And there is my Paris in Emerald journal. I hope you enjoyed this flip through, friends. If you're interested in purchasing this journal, you can check the link out down below. It will be in my Etsy shop. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.